The most important, this is the most important skill that you can learn on a motorcycle, and it is the friction zone. The friction zone is that small zone inside of this clutch range. As I'm squeezing this clutch in and letting it out, there is a small range of where those clutch plates begin to compress and start to transfer power to that rear wheel. We don't want to control speed, we want to control power. Okay, if I'm here doing this, all I'm changing is RPMs, the speed of the engine, the speed of those pistons. What I really want to control is how much of that power from that speed is getting sent to the rear wheels. This can only occur in the friction zone. So that's what this part of the training is. You're going to have a dry drill. What I want you to do is I want you to get on the motorcycle and I want you to squeeze this clutch using proper clutch control, which is a quick click, quick squeeze in, slowly release that clutch. I'm gonna quick bring that clutch in, slowly release, quick bring that clutch in, slowly release. We're gonna do this 20 times. Now, for those of you doing this, I do not want you to do it the way I'm doing it. I'm doing it with no gloves. That's because I got to work the camera. But for you guys and girls, I want you to use your gloves. You need to get a feel for how this feels in your hand. You need to get a feel for how your gloves are gonna slide across this clutch as you open it up. So I'm in here, I'm coming in, I got that left hand right there squeezing that clutch, bringing that right hand over, grabbing that front brake because I am on an incline. And I want to be in a good habit, right? Going ahead and tilting that motorcycle while turning that handlebar, bringing that kickstand up, putting that right foot on the brake because I am on that incline, building those positive habits by repetition. I'm going to take my key that's in my ignition. I'm going to turn the motorcycle to the on position. Once that motorcycle is in the on position, I'm going to locate my engine cutoff switch. I want to bring my clutch lever in. I'm gonna press my ignition key. I'm gonna hold this clutch in while I have my foot on the brake. I'm looking for neutral on my tachymeter, my instrument panel, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna squeeze that front brake while holding that rear brake. I'm gonna slowly release that clutch. The very first thing to starting the motorcycle is we want to make sure that the motorcycle is in neutral. Some of your bikes are not going to have neutral on the dash. That's why when we turn it on, we slowly release that clutch, okay? We don't want to assume that the bike is in neutral and it's actually in first, and we let that clutch go too fast, and then the bike jumps and we drop our brand new bike, or we drop our bike that's new to us, right? So that's how we properly mount and properly start the motorcycle. Now you know how to properly mount, dismount, and start your motorcycle. Now let's work that friction zone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly bring that clutch in. I'm gonna grab this front brake, one full click down. Now I'm in first. You saw my bike jump. That's also a little indicator that I'm truly in first. Now as I slowly release a little bit more, that bike is starting to move forward. If I bring it back in, it's going back. Slowly release that clutch to the front, and now that bike is starting to go and move back up. So look at my hand. I'm not in the friction zone. Still not in the friction zone. Still not in the friction zone. Right around here is where my motorcycle begins to catch. So go ahead and knock that drill out 10 times. Go ahead and turn it off, pull it out. You can put it back in, but that helps keep you from draining that battery. Okay, so that's it. Very simple. Let's move on to the next training, which is how, now that we know where the friction zone is, how do we start the motorcycle and get it in a straight line? And then how do we use the appropriate braking mechanics to stop that bike and slow that bike down? I'll see you on the next one, Moto Hero.